Volume 1. The Binary Code of Heaven and Earth. A New Way to Read the I Ching by Laing Z. Matthews, The Binary Code of Heaven and Earth. Volume 1. The Living Algorithm of Change by Laing Z. Matthews, Volume 1 completes the revelation begun in Volume 0. Before words, tracing the I Ching's second half, Hexagrams 33 to 64. The full flowering of Heaven's binary code. Where Volume 0 unveiled the origin of duality and the geometry of emergence, Volume 1 explores how consciousness refines, tests, and fulfills itself through the moral, psychological, and spiritual dynamics of the remaining 32 gua. The book opens with Retreat 33, the wisdom of withdrawal, and moves through the transformations of great strength, progressing forward, brilliance, hardship, and relief, revealing how each state encodes an inner posture of the soul. It culminates in the final polarity, already fulfilled, 63, and not yet fulfilled, 64, the twin gates through which creation endlessly renews itself. Each hexagram is decoded not as fortune-telling, but as living instruction in cosmic coherence. Binary logic becomes the breath of heaven, alternating between being and becoming. Geometry becomes morality, the symmetry through which virtue maintains order. Energy and psyche merge into rhythm, showing how human states mirror universal law. Matthews writes with the clarity of a philosopher and the stillness of a Taoist adept. His commentary unites classical insight, Taoist cultivation, and modern systems science, demonstrating that the 64 hexagrams are not symbols of prediction, but functions of consciousness itself, the original source code of heaven and earth. After the 32 hexagram commentaries, the book unfolds into deeper synthesis. Interlude 3. The silence between 0 and 1 meditates on the sacred pause where yin and yang meet. Part 4. The living algorithm examines Shaoyang's cosmological sequence, fractal recursion, and ethics as coherence, how the same moral geometry that shapes the stars governs human life. Part 5. The return of pattern brings the cycle to self-awareness through chapters such as The Future of Divination, The Human Algorithm, and The Book That Reads You, revealing that the I Ching is not consulted, but lived through. The appendices ground philosophy and practice. The Logic of Casting, Binary Reference Index, Glossary of Living Terms, and Exercises in Seeing, a complete training for recovering Xiang Shuji Shu, the ancient image number science that perceives pattern as presence. Together, volumes 0 and 1 form a closed binary pair, 0 and 1, heaven and earth, silence and expression. Volume 0 traces the birth of polarity. Volume 1 reveals its awakening as consciousness. Read as one continuum, they complete the circle of 64, the original cosmological algorithm that has guided human understanding for millennia. The Binary Code of Heaven and Earth, Volume 1. The living algorithm of change is both conclusion and beginning, the moment the pattern looks back at itself. It restores the I Ching as a mirror of moral physics, an operating system of the soul, and the oldest articulation of what modern science is only beginning to rediscover: that the universe thinks in code, breathes in pattern, and remembers itself through us.